Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Gwent, and today we're playing the new Battle Rush seasonal event, which is an alternate game mode in which we have just 8 seconds to take our turn and 15 seconds to choose our cards in between rounds. That means this event is all about speed, which is exactly what we're looking to do with our deck, so let's go give it a look. So in the Battle Rush event, because you have so little time to take your turn, it is very important that you play a simple deck, one that does not require that you use a bunch of different order abilities that take a whole bunch of time or target a specific unit, because at the end of your turn, if you run out of time, you're going to randomly target a unit, you might end up boosting your opponent or damaging yourself, and that's not something that you want to do. So this deck is a fairly simple Congregate Syndicate deck that will focus on spawning in a ton of units on our side of the board, some of which we will have spawning in automatically at the end of our turn. Others will require some clicks, but there's not really any potential for that to go awry if we try to spawn in a unit. It's not like we're going to accidentally spawn a unit on our opponent's side of the board. Outside of that, it is what is more or less your standard Congregate type of deck. Cards like Jacques, which, because we have Devotion, will, by round 3, transform into Grandmaster form, giving us some unit spawning. So that's basically what we're looking to do. Spawn in a bunch of units, and have a bunch of cards that get boosted when we spawn in those units, and we have some other cards that will give us some coins when we do so as well, to make it so that we can sustain that process. So that's what Jacques does. Cyrus, also spawning in units and giving us the chance to get some of our more powerful Firesworn units back on the board from our graveyard, so that's really helpful in round 2 or round 3 if we played some big cards in round 1. Ulrich can give us another one of those big cards on the board. Cleaver, one of our key spawners. Helveed, another spawner. Desiree, a finisher, so that we have a ton of units on the board. Boosting them all is a very big deal, and the 3 damage is just a little bonus, and the Echo is, of course, useful as well. Imke, our best coin generator. Sacred Flame, another way of both spawning in units and also being a finisher to boost all the units that we have on the board. Lieutenant von Herst, another way to spawn in a bunch of units. Damnation can convert one of our weak little 2-power Firesworn Zealots into, ideally, a Fallen Knight. So that is usually the go-to. Technically, you do have other options there, but that's generally what you're going to want to do. Roderick for coin generation, and also can spawn in another unit, although for the most part he's there for the coin generation. And technically, another potential thing that you could create with Damnation, although again, you're probably going to prefer the Fallen Knights. And here is Fallen Knight. The reason why this is so important is because it gets boosted by 1 every time we spawn in a unit, and we are focusing on that as the entire emphasis of this deck, so this is going to be our primary point-scoring engine. And also has Intimidate, so we don't have a ton of crimes in the deck, but we'll get a little bit of extra boost from that as well. Then Keeper of the Flame is another finisher, so in this case, once we have a ton of units on the board, because we are going to have a ton of units spawned in, just make sure you leave at least 1 spot remaining and make sure that you have enough time left to play this and use the Tribute ability to boost all the units on that row. Firesworn Scribe will get us coins every time we spawn in a unit, so this is another card that we want to play early and can help sustain the coins so we can do all that unit spawning. Congregation, probably not going to end up playing it, although if we do have it in hand, it, of course, can give us a whole bunch of Firesworn Zealots, which is something that we very much want to have. Tax Collector, probably a card that we'd rather not play. It is, of course, a coin generator, yes, but we have other, likely more efficient ways to achieve that same objective. Eternal Fire Priest, another basically backup plan, slightly less effective version of the Fallen Knight, where it still gets boosted every time we spawn in a unit, so that is amazing, but it doesn't have Veil, and it doesn't have the Intimidate, so it's not going to get quite as many boosts since it doesn't get powered up whenever we play a crime card. Then Mutants Maker, another coin generator, and in this case, once again, probably not our preferred coin generator because, well, we just have better stuff to do that. So, in all likelihood, just going to be a card that you end up mulliganing. But there's a look at the deck, and like I said, it is all about spawning in as many units as you can to fill basically your entire board and get boosted in the process, and then use finishers that boost the entire board, and that should be our key to success. So let's go see it in action. Alright, so going up against monsters here. And we'll go first. Okay, so we want a combination of coin generators, spawners, and units that get boosted when we do the spawning. We have some of that. Might have more coin generation than we need here, though. Okay, there's more spawning. Some boosting. Maybe we can dump the Congregation. Sacred Flame, decent finisher. Maybe we get review as well. Okay, so I think we start off with probably Roderick here. Gives us the coins, gives us the way to get a little more spawning in the future. And then we're probably going with an Eternal Fire Priest. Ooh, aggressive. and get sword, but not a bad option at that. I think we'll go for you, still. And then next turn, we might even go for Lieutenant von Herst in this round and maybe save Helveed for round 3, because these serve a similar purpose. This is a little bit slower. I was going to say, you don't have dominance unless you do that. But if we do this, suddenly we will have dominance once again. We could potentially use Cleaver in this round, but I'd rather not. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, not great options here at the moment, I'm afraid. We might be looking at Cleaver in that case. He does spawn in more units, which means that does work well with the Eternal Fire Priest. So there is a synergy there. Oniro with Alzer. They're going to get a Kelly. That would be a pretty solid counter against us, because we are going to, well, I mean, we're going to spawn in so many units. They are probably just going to end up destroying 2 power Firesworn Zealots, and they're going to be spawning in a lot of units themselves. Okay, so I'm thinking now... Do we have... We don't have a 3 power unit? Darn. Okay. I'd like to save Eternal Fire Priests for a future round, because we want to make sure we still have some things that get boosted when we spawn in units. Yeah, they're using Junior to get rid of some people. This is now a target that we can use for no longer a target we can use for Desiree. I guess we can go Sacred Flame. I guess we can do that. Spawn in a little bit more, but we could get Fallen Knights are just better versions of Eternal Fire Priest. We haven't seen any of them yet, so we still have some of those in our deck. We also have Hemmelfart, who may be able to play these guys from our graveyard in round 3. We don't have either of those yet, but I'm thinking now we have a pretty sizable lead here, although I do very much want to use that Sacred Flame Order ability. I think, given how we're going to continue to spawn in units even after we pass with Lieutenant von Herst, yeah, don't need to play there. So I think we just won uneven, did we not? That we did. So that looks like a good thing for us there. We're going to see that the question is, can we get other ways, yes, with Fallen Knight, to still get boosts from spawning in units. We'd like to see one more of those, ideally. Here's some coin generation. Probably don't want 2 Keepers of the Flame. There's Hemmelfart. Okay, that's awesome. Then we can get back the other booster units that we saw in the previous round. Do we need both Firesworn Scribe? Yeah, we'll keep them. We'll keep them. And I think 7 cards apiece will pass here. We'll try pass, and since we won uneven in round 1, we'll actually force them to go a card down and get double Lassay in round 3. What is this nonsense? They're giving us a squirrel? What are they stealing? Okay, I mean, fine. We'll deal with it. Probably gonna mulligan that squirrel anyway. Okay, well, we draw into the squirrel and a bunch more coin generations. Probably a little overkill here. So, let's get rid of one of you. Ulrich. Okay. I think what we're looking at here is probably Ulrich into Fallen Knight, then Fallen Knight, then Cyrus. Technically, we should be going melee row, likely, because these guys do need to be in the range row. So range row is going to be a little bit more competing for space. Okay, are they Kellying? No, it's another Ulcer. I mean, they're committing to the memes. You have to give them that. So yeah, I think it's Fallen Knight now. Then we go Firesworn Scribes, I suppose, for the coin generation. Then we start breaking things out with Cyrus. No, not the sword again. I mean, then again, we did kind of know you're going to break that out at some point, but it was smart. We might have wanted to use a Congregate there. I mean, technically, of course, the longer we wait, the stronger it will be, because we now have additional coin generation when we use it, rather than just point generation. We might just not even play Mutants Maker, because we're going to run out of space, I think, in all likelihood. So this is definitely our weakest card. Outside of maybe Congregation, depending on if we have the space, or if we want to still spawn in additional stuffs. But now it's you. Next turn is Cyrus. I think we'll go probably range row there. Shoop stay off. It is a full-blown meme deck, and I love it. Oh, okay. Thought they were going to destroy a random unit. But no, we'll take the 3 rain. That's not so bad. Do this. Spawn in some peoples. And swap in a Fallen Knight. Alright, they destroyed a Fallen Knight, so we'll get one back here. So, that is the resilience of Hemmelfart, which is quite useful. Okay, they're going to play something from our graveyard. It's Von Herst, and they might have... Is he a cleric? No, he's not a cleric. Nor are you. Okay, so we're fine there. Let's use Hemmelfart here quickly. Get in one of you. And then let's get Helveed down. Not sure we're going to use those just yet, those order abilities, because again, the question is, how much space do we actually have here? Because it might not be much. Oh, I actually would have loved to have destroyed that with Desiree. Again, another card that we'd like to wait as long as possible until we have as many units on the board as possible here. That might not be a luxury we can afford to have. Let's see, let's go like so. And I suppose... Oh, nope, don't do that. Don't do that. Suppose we can still spawn in some stuffs, and we actually, because we have 2 Firesworn Scribes, and it costs us 2 coins to spawn in stuff with Helveed, we can indefinitely do these spawns. Okay, I think what we'll do here is we'll do this. I'm going to say that, and I fill this row, but as we were saying, we are likely to run out of space. But now, I mean, I suppose we can still go Mutants Maker. Okay, they will reset our Fallen Knight, which is a little unfortunate, but it's not enough for them, as we still have the lead here, and we have 2 cards to spare. All of our lead ability charges, no problem. Alright, so going up against monsters here, and they'll go first. Okay, and we want a combination of cards to get boosted from the unit spawning, some coin generators, and some cards that actually do the spawning. I think probably don't need 2 Keepers of the Flame. And Mutants Maker, not our best coin generator. Yeah, we were a little bit low on unit spawning, but Congregation helps a bit there. That is, I think, probably still the thing that we are most lacking at the moment. We'll probably start off with Imke, for the pure coin generation. They'll go Catachan, I mean, presumably they're a Vampire's deck. So we'll start with you. Then might even go double down on the coin generation with Roderick as well. It's going to be a lot of coin generation. Then again, okay, Imke gets destroyed. Fair enough. We have a backup coin generator, and because this is capable of spawning in units, it is more synergistic with our other cards. So we would like to start getting the other ones down here soon. Okay, fortunately, we also cannot get bled on Roderick, which is convenient right about now. Which might be a reason to go with Fallen Knight next, in fact. So it's going to be either that or some of our other cards that benefit from receiving the, or from spawning in other units, and if they're trying to bleed us, then might as well make that much more difficult, and might normally be a little hesitant to play both Fallen Knights in the same round like this. If we get Hemmelfart, then of course we can get them both back. We can get another one back through Damnation as well, so it's not that much of a loss to play them both here. Operator, gonna be what, a Flutter? The Witch Apprentice, actually. Ooh, okay, that could actually help us. I'm a little surprised they opted to do that. They might have just needed to finally have a unit that they could apply some bleed to. Okay, and so we might start spawning. We do still have an Eternal Fire Priest, but we might want to save one of those for round 3. And we do need to start putting up points soon, because they are starting to do that as well. Let's go Congregation now, I think. And we might even load up on this row, where we have more units, so that we have a better means to go with Keeper of the Flame. Sacred Flame could also work pretty soon, but I think we want to go Damnation next. Create another Fallen Knight out of one of these. It is something that we could have potentially saved for round 3 to get another way of getting a Fallen Knight, but again, at this point, we're relying pretty heavily on getting Hemmelfart, and we don't know for certain if we're going to be able to make that happen. Okay, Crimson Curse. Again, we have a lot of Veil, which is a good counter for that. Go Sacred Flame. Spawn in more stuffs. Get some boosts from spawning in the stuffs. And then next turn is probably going to be our last one with Keeper of the Flame, boosting these guys, which pretty sure can be enough. We pay the tribute and do this. Should be even after their boosts. So that means we'll win round 1 here, a long round 1 at that. Okay, we did play one more card with them in round 1, so we're probably dry passing here. And we'd really like to get Hemmelfart. Not loving Mutants Maker. Cleaver is not a bad spender. But Hemmelfart is key, because we want to make sure we have a way to get back more of these units to get boosted whenever we spawn in cards, and since we played a whole bunch of Fallen Knights in round 1, that would be a great way to make that happen. We did shut down a lot of their bleeding in round 1 with all of our Veils, so I'm hoping that, assuming they're trying to get a Regis finisher out here, that is considerably weaker than they would like it to be. Okay, and there is Hemmelfart. That's really nice. I think we probably don't need Tax Collector, or then again, you actually don't have a lot of coin generation here. Don't love it, but okay. Yeah, now we can get another Eternal Fire Priest. I think we stick with this Congregation. We do have some unit spawning. This is obviously better unit spawning with Helveed. So first play is probably Ulrich into Eternal Fire Priest. Maybe even... Oh, I mean, you want to give us a Fallen Knight? I will absolutely take that. I will absolutely take that. Because that means we are getting boosted from that first Ulrich play, which is a nice little bonus. So we want to try to keep one row relatively empty and use that for Helveed and or Von Herst. Having both of them in the same round is actually not a great thing, because they do both spawn in a ton of stuffs. Okay, there's Unseen Elder, which is not terribly surprising. I don't think they have Devotion, though. Right, because we saw an Operator, didn't we? Okay, we should, next turn, break out Hemmelfart to get more Fallen Knights. Queen of the Night, Purification maybe on this Fallen Knight, because they do not like all of our Veil. But I hate to break it to you. There's more coming soon. Okay, there's one Fallen Knight, and we'll get another one out on our next turn, and we might, technically speaking, yeah, we have a ton of unit spawners. This is, ideally we would have had one of these in round 1, or 2 of them in round 1 even. Cleaver is technically our highest point unit spawner. It's our most expensive one, but we might opt for him. But before we do any of that, we should first convert the one that has Bleed into a Fallen Knight. Then we play you. Ideally, put that boost on you, and do a little more spawnage. Okay, Undying Thirst. I think what we'll do is we'll play Von Herst in this row, because he's slower. He needs a little more time to do his thing, but this row only needs one more Firesworn Zealot, whereas Helveed has more space to spawn in stuff in this melee row. Actually, I'll tell you what, Von Herst does not cost coins, whereas Helveed does. And we are a little low on coins right now, so might have actually been preferable to have gone the other way. Down goes Hemmelfart, but we did get a lot of value out of him. Getting a bunch of units that we wanted to see, so that's good. We'll use our leader ability here to spawn in some more units. Finish with Keeper of the Flame, and then use whatever remaining coins we have to spawn in stuffs here. Boost. Spawn. Spawn. Okay, and there you have it. That's enough for the win. Alright, so going up against monsters here. And they'll go first. Okay, and so we want a combination of unit spawners, coin generators, and units that get boosted when we do that spawning, and not a lot of the boosters right now. So that's more coin generation. Yeah, we have more coin generation than we need here with double Mutants Maker, Imke. Okay, so this is not the most balanced of hands. I think what we'll do here is we'll start off with Imke. That'll be our primary coin generator. We can actually use Damnation to create a Fallen Knight, and that is the key card that gets boosted when we spawn in more units, so that's going to be our primary thing we're going to be building around here, I think. We can also use Ulrich to create another Eternal Fire Priest, which might be what we go for here. So that is the other way that we can get somebody who gets boosted from spawning in units. Now that we have 4 coins, we can get a little more aggressive here. Some of our coin generators, although we don't have too many ways to, or rather coin spenders, don't have too many ways to spend those coins. Yeah, I think we go Eternal Fire Priest here. Then we might even go with, where'd you go? Congregation to spawn in some stuffs. So we can convert it with Damnation to Fallen Knight, and then we go crazy on the spawning. They're Thrive. So they are going to be a slow start, but then build up very quickly, or rather, have some really big finishers as time goes on. That deck looks kind of familiar, come to think of it. Let's go Damnation, as we were saying, and create a Fallen Knight. Because those are other cards that benefit from those spawnages. Okay, now, could go Keeper of the Flame, but I think we're more likely... We're entering finisher territory here. They have a lot of points. And it will be hard for us to catch them here, but I think we can still do it. If they pass, we can make it happen. Boost from Sacred Flame. Desiree. I'd like to get a Death Blow on Desiree, although I don't like that. I do not like that. Okay, we'll try. We will try. Get a tribute, get a big boost here. It is still almost enough for us to catch them, but the problem now becomes their carryover, and as I was saying, we don't really have many ways to spend these coins that we've generated here, so we can pass them. But, I guess we'll damage She Who Knows to limit the amount of carryover that they get from her. But it's not exactly ideal, because although we are winning round 1, they don't need to play anything in round 2, given that they have that carryover from She Who Knows, unless we push, but then they might be able to carry over She Who Knows again. So let's see what we end up with here. I think we're definitely looking to dump these Mutant Makers. We have lots of coins carrying over. We have more coins, but oh no, I thought this was yeah, Firesworn Scribe. We do still have more coin generation. Tell you what, we're gonna go for it. We're gonna go Roderick, because we can spend those coins pretty aggressively with Cleaver. And we can get points with Eternal Fire Priest. They're going to try to row stack, of course. It doesn't really matter who we go for first. Between you and you. Should have enough coins that didn't matter too much if we pay the tribute there. Okay, Karen Fear into what? Also, they don't go... Oh, okay, Cache. Glad that we did bait that out, at the very least, because that is a huge play that they just made. So if nothing else, we've gotten rid of what could be their most important combo, and they have not yet gotten back up to Sabbath. So if they don't reach Sabbath here, we might pass. Except I think they just reached Sabbath. They have not. Just barely have not. I think we pass. So we bled out one of their biggest combos here with Cache. So that is a huge play. They do still have the original Cache in their hand, but they no longer have the Karen Theor created Cache, which in some ways is stronger because it's easier to create the Thrive off that. They don't get the carry over from She Who Knows. They do still have one card advantage. That was going to be the case regardless, unless we did extremely well in the bleed. But I think that might still pay off for us. Fallen Knight is key card for us, and Cyrus can help us get back some of our key cards as well. Congregation, I think we can do better than that. Tax Collector, we can definitely do better as well, though. So I think we will start with this for the coin generation, but we would have preferred some other stuffs for sure. Okay, so it's going to be you first to maximize the coinage, although, honestly, I mean, Desiree, just to remove a single Thrive unit when we 0 units on the board, no thanks. Yeah, so there's the original Cache. Then we should go Fallen Knight next. We still have their leader ability. We still have ours for what it's worth as well. But now we go Fallen Knight. Then next turn, it's going to be Cyrus, and what can we get back with Cyrus? Probably Eternal Fire Priest for direct pointage. Ratcatcher S will certainly trigger Thrives. Okay, so that's you. Do this. Do Fallen Knights, even a little bit better. Okay, so it's going to be really interesting to see here how the numbers line up. Oh, okay, not quite enough damage. Oh, no, not Cyrus. I thought they were going to go for Fallen Knight. Okay, we do still have a spender. Thankfully, we do still have a spender. Does make Cleaver especially important here. And we still have all leader ability charges as well, so it's going to be... Ooh, that's a big Ozrael as well. What is it? She Who Knows they're going to consume? Yeah. Okay. So... Spawn all you guys in. Spawn you guys in. And then... Get rid of you. And we do have the lead here at the moment, but they have a lot of Thrive units on the board, so they have a lot of potential here with this last card. It's Erendite, 17 points. I'm not sure that's enough. We will hold on for the win. Alright, so going up against monsters here. And we'll go first. Okay, so we're going to want a combination of coin generators, unit spawners, and cards that get boosted from the unit spawning. So Fallen Knight is definitely a key card. Mutants Maker probably one of our weaker cards, and we do sell some other coin generation for sure. So yeah, I think probably don't need that, and probably don't need a Tax Collector. Definitely don't need a Tax Collector now. Okay, so in that case, do we have Ulrich? We don't, so I think we're starting with Fallen Knight. Might have wanted to put him in the melee row, because Firesworn Scribes need to be in the range row, so this could get a little bit crowded over here. Imlerith is going to get boosted. By how much, you ask? We're about to find out. A lot is the answer. Okay, now let's go Firesworn Scribe. We're going to try to save Cyrus for round 3. And get some of these guys back. Oh, we also probably should have played Imke first turn. Forgot we had her. Should do that for the coin generation. Yeah, because she does stuff every turn, even before we start spawning in the units, so that would have been preferable. Okay. They're going to get their other Archospore, sure. Okay, so it's either Cleaver or it's going to be Helveed. I guess we'll go Helveed in this round. Do a little bit of spawning, because I think at this point, yeah, we don't really have any other stuff that benefits from getting unit spawned in here, so we can go as crazy as we'd like with the unit spawning. And I think that means now we might even go here. Oh, yeah, I'm getting greedy. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Deployability, please use a tribute. It won't use a tribute because I hesitated because I realized we had room/coinage for one more round of that, and so we missed out on our finisher. We can, however, still do another one here. So that does stink. Unfortunately, it comes with the territory in this event. This is what I wanted to do. Just pay a pretty big tribute, and then we'll probably finish on our next turn with Desiree. But yeah, we could have done that again, obviously. But if you're about to run out of time at the end of your turn, then a lot of funky stuff can happen in this event. So that is something to consider. Okay, we are definitely going to have that be our last turn, I think, because we're doing pretty well at the moment. Yeah, and they'll pass. Okay, so we might have even been able to win on even here, but we'll win in round 1, nonetheless. Oh, they did have the carryover from She Who Knows. I honestly was so preoccupied with us trying to click our buttons that I did not even realize that they had her. So that is all the more reason why it would have been significant to win on even. Because now they don't need to play anything unless we push in this round, which could... Tell you what, we'll try. Ulrich, create another Firesworn Scribe. It would have asked us if we wanted to use the tribute ability, but our turn had sort of, kind of ended. Okay, Mamuna. Now, are they... The reason why I was willing to do this was to see if maybe they would not get the Sabbath, except they immediately got the Sabbath. So, mistakes were made, is what that means. Probably. Unless we're trying to push all the way here in this round, in which case that might be what we have to do at this point. Because I'm not sure we're going to have any other way to make this work. If they get all that carryover, that is going to be really tough for us to stop. So we're going to go, in that case, convert another one of you, and then probably use Damnation to get another Fallen Knight. Oh. Yeah, it's going to have to be you, I suppose. This into another Fallen Knight. And then it's going to be Cleaver, and he's going to be a primary spender at this point. Spawning a bunch of things in this melee row to get us boosts and coins. And then Desiree. Put Desiree on... Nah, Kashe is not capable of destroying it now. This. Spawn as many of them as we can. And we actually could have spawned even one more in. So we can do that, then we are getting the coin generation from all these Firesworn Scribes. This is why we can do this so quickly and efficiently. And we can still do a whole lot more of this, in fact. Once you factor in leader ability. And then here's Irae. Could have snuck in one more, but again, when your turn timer is running low, it is very, very dangerous. I wanted to make sure we still had time to actually use our finisher. So we still have a 50-point lead here. They do have one card left to play, even after their leader ability there, and they have a ton of Thrive on the board, so it's possible they may be able to catch us. It's Wispus. I don't think that's going to be enough. No, we will hold on for the 2-0 win. So there's a look at a Syndicate deck for the new Battle Rush seasonal event. If you liked the video, then make sure to hit the like and subscribe button and leave a comment down below to let me know which other cards, archetypes, and factions you'd like us to experiment with next. And stay tuned next Friday for our new card reveal from the Gwent Black Sun expansion. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time.